Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to my next destination, Xi'an. Maybe you haven't heard of the name, but you're familiar with what the city is famous for. The terracotta warriors or the terracotta army, which we'll visit in a later episode. But first, I want to tell you a bit about Xi'an because it's such an interesting city with a long history. So Xi'an used to be the capital for 13 dynasties, making it one of the oldest cities in China, as it's lasted for over 3,000 years. It was also the start of the Silk Road, which connected China to the Mediterranean, and this has resulted in Xi'an being a cultural hub where it brought together many ideas, art, religion from India, Persia, the Roman Empire. There's even a Muslim quarter in Xi'an Old Town, which we'll explore later. Now, behind me, you have the south gate of the city wall. So the city wall is 13.7 kilometers long. I think it's the longest in the world, or one of the longest in the world. And you can even walk or ride a bike along the top. It's the best preserved city wall in China. And this is what we're gonna have a look at right now. So here we've got information also telling us more about the city wall. There's 18 gates. So the ticket price to go to the city wall is 54 yuan. To the world's largest city wall, sounds like a good deal. And look what we got here. We got some warriors leaving the gate. Don't know where they're going. I've entered the south gate or the city wall. Now it looks like we have to pass through security, but here is the moat and the drawbridge. Okay, so we're through. So here is the other side of the gate. A very tall building with that great artwork, but it's hard to see from the camera. Blue, red, yellow. Very nice. So there's the gate we just came through. The city wall is super high. I think it's 13 meters high. Here you can see the different types of bricks, and I believe this city wall was built on top of the city wall prior to that. Now most of that old city wall you can't see anymore, but this might be part of it. And one of the other days I'm going to try and find some of the remaining old wall. So we're going through another gate into the center of this. Wow, this looks awesome. So you've got maybe viewing platform, and then another viewing platform, and then seating, maybe a cafe I think, and then we can go up onto the city wall. So here is where they do performances, I think even now. You've got chairs, they will fold it out. So I knew it was very long, but I didn't realize how long this city wall is, because I've come quite late. It's like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the evening. And you can spend 3 hours, so you're going to be here a long time. So it's a bit hard with the sun directly facing us, but here we can see some sort of building. And then the gate goes all along there. We've got watchtowers, I think, all along there. You can see another watchtower that way. Let's see if I can find a bike, because if I don't find a bike, I'm not going to be walking around 14 kilometers. You can buy the ticket using WeChat. They have directions on how to do that right out the front of the entrance gate. You can buy a ticket directly with at the ticket office, or you can use trip.com. I use trip.com. It's almost the same price, like a couple of cents more expensive. However, I have some discounts, which meant I got this ticket for free. So that was great from booking hotels and flights through trip.com. So I'm not being sponsored or anything by them, but I definitely recommend looking at trip.com because you can get some good savings and earn points to get free things. It's not part of the city wall, it's just another very nice building that has the same type of architecture. So the roofs are sloped upwards to repel the evil spirits, and lots of phoenixes and dragons in the artworks. Let's see if I can show you. There we go. There we go. Oh, you've got tandem bikes as well. Okay, let's look at getting a bike. Okay, I've got my bicycle for 3 hours, so it cost 45 yuan and then 100 deposit. They looked at me wearing thongs or flip-flops and they said, no insurance for you, because apparently you're meant to wear like actual shoes. And I was like, yes, it's fine for me. No problem wearing thongs and riding a bike using one hand to film. What could go wrong? But there should be like some sort of bike lane rather than swerving in between all the people walking. But the further we walk along, the less people there will be, because they're only going to walk until the east gate. I can return the bike to any of the gates. I like bike riding. I don't get a chance to do it in Vietnam because, well, I rarely get a chance because the roads are chaotic. We're still on the south-facing side of the city wall and there's already a lot less people. Okay, what do we got here? Cafe? I know. Xi'an Hang Huang Gate Museum. And I also believe I can drop my bike here and then look at somewhere, or I can even leave the city wall and come back. So the ticket is for the day. I can leave as many times as I want and return. And I think you can do that with the bike as well, but the bike, you're only limited to 3 hours. And the thing about these attractions is a lot of the time, looking at the attraction is the thing to do. So like when you go on the attraction, there's nothing really to look at. It's like the Eiffel Tower. You go up, and you can see the rest of Paris, but you can't see the Eiffel Tower. Maybe there's not going to be that many impressive things to see along this route. I hope I'm wrong, because like the city wall is the impressive thing. Oh, very bumpy here. Maybe the shoes aren't going to be what's going to get me to crash. It's going to be the bumps and only using one hand, but we'll get it on camera. So we're coming up to the first corner of the city wall. Okay, so you can see the river. This is what we can see from the corner. A main street, a nice little square, well, circle park there. But I like this view here. Let's go along the west side of the city walls now. I think it's jumped out of the gear. Okay, it's all fixed. It was the chain had just got knocked off. I did learn some things when I was living in Netherlands, having to use a bike every day. That makes me feel better. Up ahead, we are starting to see the West Gate. So this is where people that are walking will generally finish if they're walking this direction. So after this gate, I imagine that it's mainly just going to be bike riders, and the bike doesn't have a bell on it as well. I don't know how to say watch out in Chinese. So here's the east gate. So first thing, it's not as colorful. It looks older and just generally not as impressive. Got some people dressed up in traditional clothing, and there's nowhere for performances, but there's a nice tree. Here the paintwork, it's flaking off a bit. Well, we've got a couple of buildings and a pagoda or a temple or something. Guangren Temple Tourist Center. People are playing badminton, just like in Vietnam. Shakyamuni, the founder of Buddhism, experienced the complete enlightenment and became the Buddha after 7 days and 7 nights of meditation under a Bodhi tree. And this is the Golden Roof Worship Hall. So it's an architectural structure following the highest standard in Tibetan Buddhism. And there's also palace hotel rooms for Dalai Lamas that might visit. And we're at the northwest corner now. So we've got another 2-story building. The moat still goes around the whole city wall. There's like a waterfall kind of where footpath. Here you can see it looks very nice. It's very well maintained, of course. The trees have some flowers growing, people still playing badminton here. Looks like a nice little park to walk around the outside as well if you didn't want to come on top of the city wall. So the old town of Xi'an is very big. Like you can't see the other side of it. And anywhere I go in the world, I love cities or towns that have old walls, old towns. Like I love Hanoi with its old quarter. So here, this is fantastic. Mostar and Kota in Montenegro. Kota is amazing. Please recommend any old quarters, old towns that you might recommend. Maybe I haven't been to some of them. Okay, so this part's not very nice. It looks like a dump. Maybe they were planning on building something and they haven't gone through with it, but it's not very great to look at. Meow. Friendly locals. So here we got a bell. It looks like it hasn't been used for a long time and very old. Another nice building here. Well, you can also hear the honking of the traffic, peak hour. So here you can see the South Gate. So this road connects all the way down to the South Gate where we started. And this gate is similar to the West Gate. It doesn't look as well looked after. It looks quite dirty and not as colourful. Here you can see the paintwork is like come off and on the columns, or they've tried to paint it. I don't know, but it doesn't look great. So there's some of the artwork. I can see a kite flying up in the air, or 2 kites, but you won't be able to see it on the camera. Not as many kites flying in the air as in India. India loves to fly kites, especially in the evenings. So you got the big M, and then you have, I don't know, someone's face. I don't know who that's meant to be. It's not Mao Zedong, which you would expect to see in a lot of places, but I don't know who that is meant to be representing McDonald's. It's very similar on the other corners. Again, it looks a bit run down and worse for wear. The sun's getting lower, so you can see some more buildings along the moat. But it's just more buildings, hotels. Again, it's cool to see like the low buildings here. They wouldn't get much sunlight, I think. So Xi'an was ruled by the Qing government, and then that was taken over by the new army of Shaanxi, which was then taken over. Eventually, after many battles, the revolution succeeded, which caused the commander of the Qing army to commit suicide by drowning in a well. So the ride around the city wall is nice and easy. I think anyone would be able to do it, as long as you can ride a bike. You can stop as long as you need, and you have 3 hours. Like, I think it's probably going to take me an hour, maybe just over an hour. So I think everyone will have plenty of time to do it. And that's stopping taking a lot of photos as well if you choose to do that. Oh, my knee really hurts a lot now. At least it's not too long. Hopefully just push through. But they may not be able to walk too much after I've finished. Oh, what is this? It looks something's happening in here. It's lit up. So I'm not exactly sure, but it might be a culture street. So it might be interesting. I can hear music being played. Here we go. Yeah, so might check that out. But we still have to return the bike because I think my knee is telling me to stop riding. But I can't see anywhere to return the bikes again until I think the south gate where we came in. So we're up to the east gate, our last gate that we haven't seen. Oh, we got 4 people dressed up. Okay. So again, this gate looks very similar to the north and west gates. Okay, so I returned the bike, no problems. They scanned the ticket to give me a refund. Alipay says the refund's been done. I guess I just have to wait a couple of days for it to return to my Revolut card. So hopefully that's fine. Hopefully it's not a scam, but I'm here for a few days anyway. Now let's walk back to that culture street. Hopefully it's as interesting as it seemed. Okay, so here the lights are starting to come on even more. So the fairy lights, I guess, around this building, whilst it doesn't look as good as it will once it's completely dark, it already makes it look very nice. And what is the point of these? What's the point of having the glass? May as well just not have it there. It makes no sense. Please like and subscribe to my channel and see you at the next stop. Goodbye. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Xi'an.